Good evening, everybody. You hear me well?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Good. So like this. This evening, we again, like every Buddha day, we are doing the Dhammatalk Sutta, which is the turning the wheels of Dhamma, and then we follow with another. Mostly, we follow with another kind of text or another kind of chanting. Today, we did the Vihāradāna-gāthā. This is just to remind you, it's in the bracket 65 in the page 93. Normally we are doing, again I repeat, 65 in the bracket, and 93 in the page in the book. Okay. Before I will start to, yes, that's correct. And then before I will start to explain about this chanting normally we are doing, I explain about suttas. But this chanting is open us some kind of doors to what we call Vinaya. Okay, Vinaya, the precept of the monk, precept of what the Buddha, and because the Buddha, he said to Ananda, his assistant, that before he passed away, Ananda asked him, who will be the leader? Who will be the leader after you will pass away? So the Buddha said, you don't need a leader. The Dharma and the Vinaya will be your teacher, your way. You have to start on the Dharma and the Vinaya. Now I will I will explain it like this. After the Buddha passed away, with the Buddha was his assistant. Normally I explain it, but I repeat it again. I will build it again. He had assistant, his name Ananda. Ananda was staying with the Buddha 25 years as assistant. The Buddha was teaching 45 years. So he passed away 80 years, when he was 80 years old. So Ananda was the assistant of the Buddha. He stayed with the Buddha and he asked the Buddha to tell him some story that he was not there. For example, we know story from the Buddha when just the birthday of the Buddha. We know the story about the Buddha get enlightened or other things. But Ananda was not there at that time. So one of the requests from the 8 requests from that Ananda asked the Buddha is to tell him story that he was not present there, that he didn't stay with them. And after the Buddha passed away, they meet about 500 enlightened monks, and they ask Ananda, what you remember? So Ananda start to tell them that I remember from the Buddha 82,000 story and another 2,000 other monks give me. So altogether I can let you, I know by heart 84,000 story. This is one thing that happened in this council, in this meeting. But in this meeting, it was another things also happened. This is the Dharma. Okay, what we say, this is the Dharma. The Ananda, he give the teaching of the Buddha, the Dharma. Stories about the Buddha teach the monk, and he teach the king, and he teach children, and he teach merchant people, whatever people come and ask him question, he teach, and the Buddha teach how to practice. This is the Dharma. I said the other things happened in this meeting is it was another monk which he was very, very good in the Vinaya. What does mean Vinaya? Vinaya, it means let's say, the meaning of the Vinaya, it's like the precept or the virtue or the behave, okay, of monk, of bhikkhuni, of the people which practicing with the Buddha, okay. So this is in like how to keep the precept, what kind of precept. So this called the basket of the discipline. Why? Because Ananda give the story, and this called the basket of the hearing. The Ananda said, this is what I heard. So it's called Sutta Pitaka. Now Upadi give Vinaya Pitaka, the basket of the discipline. Okay, it was sometimes after the Buddha passed away. I think about 3 months after the Buddha passed away. So, like this, we know the precept of the monk. We know the how the monk have to behave, what they have to do. So, if we talk about Vinaya Pitaka, about this discipline teaching, what Upali transferred to us, it's divided to a three part actually. These books, it's divided to three parts. The first part, they call it Sutta Vibhanga. Okay, now I explain you how the Vinaya, how all this basket of the precept, of the virtue, of the discipline is built inside. It's divided to three parts. Okay, the first part called Sutta Vibhanga. Okay, the second part called Kandaka. Okay, Kandaka, and this Kandaka divide to two parts inside. It's not difficult. Okay, it's easy to remember. It's we have three parts altogether. The first part it's called we call Sutta Vibhanga. I will explain a little bit what is inside. The second one called Kandaka, and this is divided to two parts inside. And the last one called Privara. Okay, Privara, this is also the last part. So altogether, three parts. Now, what the meaning of Vibhanga? Like the Sutta Vibhanga, the meaning of the word Vibhanga, actually, it's like distribution, division, okay, classification. It's mean part, okay, like different parts. And what there is in this Sutta Vibhanga, this is the first part of the Vinaya. What is this inside this part is the precept of the monk, men and women. The bhikkhu, which is the monks, which is men, and bhikkhuni, which is the monk, which is woman. Okay, woman. There is different on the precept. The monk men have 227 precepts. It's written there inside. And the bhikkhuni, okay, this is called bhikkhu, okay? And the bhikkhuni, it's a woman monks, they have 311 precepts, okay? There is difference between men and women because sometimes the men and women have to travel, they cannot travel alone. So the Buddha have to give them more precept, protecting them or other things like this, okay? So that's why you cannot say that they have to be in the same precept. So not only that inside this book there is the precept themselves, also there is a story why the Buddha give the precept. I just tell you that the precept, the Buddha didn't just give the precept, because in the very beginning the monk was enlightened monks. And for example, the assistant of the Buddha, Sariputta, he tell the Buddha, why don't you put a precept for the monk? Why don't you put, it's called Patimokkha. Patimokkha is the rules of monks and the rules of bhikkhuni, okay? Bhikkhu and bhikkhuni. And Sariputta asked the Buddha, why don't you give the Patimokkha? Why don't you give the rules for the monks and the men and women? So the Buddha said to Sariputta, it's not yet the time because all of you enlightened. So there is no meaning to give you the precept. And then start to have some things in the Sangha, some problems in the Sangha. And then the Buddha start to give the precept and the order how to do, what to do, and how to solve the problem. And so like this, the precepts start to collect slowly, slowly. So it's not mean that the Buddha immediately give, like put all the precepts together. It's just occasion happened. Things that the monk makes something not correct or they didn't know how to do. They ask the Buddha and the Buddha start to give them, they tell them, okay, you should do this, you should do that, you should do that. And this is how actually the Vinaya developed. Okay, so behind every precept there is a story. Why this story happened? Okay, For example, the monk he don't allow to do the sex with the woman. Happened that one monk in the very beginning, okay, he became a monk, and then his parents they was very unhappy because why? Before he was married, and then they ask him, "Oh, if you want to be a monk, why don't you just give us a baby for your wife? Okay, just give us a present for your wife." So he make baby with with his wife, and then they people report this to the Buddha and say the monk should not do it, and then he give precept like this. Okay, so today this chanting actually that we chant, it's part of this Vinaya. I will tell the story about this specific, but now I just explain you about how the Vinaya is built. So I said the first one called Sutta Vibhanga, and there inside this part there is all the story why the Buddha give the precept, and and like a precept and explanation, precept and explanation, the story behind it. So this is first part of the Vinaya Pitaka. All this part, it's actually if you look at it, it's 6 books, but inside these 6 books there is these 3 division. Okay, the one of them, like I said, is the Sutta Vibhanga. It's the Patimokkha for the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni. The second one, it's called Kandaka. Kandaka, it's the same like Kanda. If you remember Kanda, five aggregate, okay? So this is the meaning of the mean Kanda. Kandaka, it's mean division or chapter, okay? Or aggregate, collection. And this is the meaning. And like I said, this Kandaka, it's a 2 part, okay? There is 2 part. One of them called Vaga. Vaga, it's a group. The meaning of the word Vaga, it's a group, okay, or party, or chapter of the book. So the first one called Mahavaga, which include story from the time of the Buddha after he get enlightened, okay, some other monk which get enlightened, the rules how to make ordination. If people want to make ordination, the monk want to do ordination, what is the rule how to make the patimokkha? When the monk gathering to make patimokkha, they have to know how to make it. What is the regulation? What kind of chanting they have to do? How they have to sit together or whatever. And some procedure when the monk is meeting. So how they meet, what they have to do, how they sit, how they should organize it. So this is in this part of in the book of the Vinaya. Okay, now I explain. Normally we talk about the suttas, but now we talk about the Vinaya. So it's good for you to know how this book is built by. I talk about the first part, which was the part of the Patimokkha itself. It's the precept and the story behind the precept. The second part that we are talking about is different kind of things like the story of the Buddha, and we put about how the monk have to connect, what they have to do, what the chanting before, how they should sit, okay, all these things. Now another part, the third part, it's called Jula Vibhanga. Okay, Jula, it's small. Okay, and this is explanation about duty of monks, how the monk have to behave. What the monk have to do if they break precept, how they confess, what is the, okay? If it happened that you break precept or whatever, or you making a meeting, what you have to do, how you have to do. And also there, it's explaining how the bhikkhuni, all the order of the bhikkhuni, how it started to develop. What happened when the mother-in-law of the Buddha came and she requested to be bhikkhuni, and what happened in the story, and this, it's also inside this part. Also inside this part, you have a story about the first meeting. I just said that Upali transferred this Vinaya Pitaka to the monk in the first meeting. So the story of the first meeting is also mentioned in this part. This is how we know. And not only this meeting, also the second meeting. So the first and second meeting, how they organized, who was the people there, it's mentioned in this part. So these two small things, which is not so small, it's the second part of the Vinaya. Okay, the first one is the Patimokkha. Second one is these two Vagas. Okay, these two parts. And now the third part inside the Vinaya, which is completing the Vinaya, it's called Pravara, which is the meaning is like a family or lineage, okay, and something referred to, and what there is there, it's like collections or how to say, the explaining the things that they explained before, something like more details. Okay, in different way. Explanation again, they explain again about this summarizing of it, what they explained before. Okay, so this is how the Vinaya actually built. Like I told you, it's three parts, and each part there is some kind of information. So this is how we know the behavior of the monk, how they have to meet, what they have to do, and why the things come to be like this, the story behind it. If people want to know why we don't have to eat afternoon, okay? Why the monk don't have to eat afternoon, there you can find it. Why the Buddha say to do this, to that. And today we are going to do to tell the story how the Buddha he teach the monk to build the buildings. Okay, this is the story behind what we are going to do to talk, because our story today coming from the Jula Vibhanga. Jula Vibhanga also we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I will show you where it's taken from. Our chanting, what we chant today. Oh, sorry, I think that I make wrong. I have to share. Share screen. Okay. Yeah, you can see?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So you see, this is the Jula. Jula, it's small, okay? Division. Huh? Okay. Okay. Now a little bit bigger. Okay. So the chanting that we chant today, it's actually coming from one of the story that happened, and it show you how the precept is example about how the precept come to be. Okay, how the monk, why the Buddha give precepts to the monk, and how to he explain how to build this, how to do that, and how this story is starting from the time when the Buddha was staying in Rajgir, in the bamboo grove. I already in the past I explained you where is this bamboo grove. This is the King Bimbisar give present to the Buddha, and the Buddha in Rajgir, not far from Bodh Gaya. And the Buddha was staying there. That time, in this time, the Buddha didn't give order to the monk, you can stay in the house. The monk was not allowed to stay in the house. Yeah, you can see it's written here. At that time, lodging had not been permitted to monks by the Lord. It means we are talking about the time before it was any temples that monks stay there. Okay, it was not yet temples. It was not yet. It was just where the monks stayed at the time. The monks used to stay in the forest, in the cemeteries, in the on the root on the tree of the tree, okay, on the hills, in the open place, in the cave, in the jungles, in the straw, on the straw. They make for themselves a straw. They sit there. You can see this in the story. So these monks, they here, from here. You can see it here. Okay, they stay here and there in the forest, in the root of the tree. Okay, it means we are talking about the time, not yet now the monks staying in the temples, but we are now talking about the time that monks, they didn't have permission yet to stay in the houses. Okay, they didn't have permission to stay. They stay outside in cemeteries, in the forest, in okay, open air. You see, on the straw, just outside. And what happened in this? The monks, they stay in the forest, they stay in the places outside, and suddenly they, in the morning, because they're very, very polite, the enlightened monks, they're very developed in the mind, they used to go in the morning to collect food. They're going to alms food, okay? So the monks start leaving their place where they stay, and they start to walk around. They walk very nicely, you see. Their eyes, they look down, they very good behave. So they just going, bring the bud. One time, one man, merchant man, he suddenly see the monk in Rajgir. He's going in Rajgir. Millionaire man, okay? Merchant. He have money. He see the monks going out and starting to go in the morning. Okay? You see the monk going in the morning. He actually wanted to go to one of the forests. He wanted to go in the forest, to one of the forests in the morning to have nice time, and suddenly you see the monk walking around. So you say, why is it that the monk don't have place to stay? I wish to give them place to stay. I wish to build a house for them, for these good monks. So he go to the monk and he asked them, you see, then the merchant, he go to the monk and approach the monk. Having approached the monk, he speak thus: I want to build for you place. Would you accept it? He come to the monk, he say, I want to build for you a place. Can you accept it? And what the monk saying? The monk say, we're sorry. The Buddha didn't give us permission. Okay? So what this man he say? He said to them, please ask the Buddha. He said, please go and ask the Buddha if he give you permission. Okay? I hope that I don't miss too much pages. So the monk, if I play too much, I will lose everything. Okay. Anyway, they go and ask them, the Buddha, the monks, they say, okay, we should go and ask the Buddha. So the monk go and ask the Buddha, and then the Buddha say, okay, I give permission to stay. You see, first time, you see how the precept and how the rules starting to be because of some occasion that happened. So they go and ask the Buddha, and then the Buddha say, I will give permission for you, for monk to stay in the houses. And then the Buddha say, the house should be in 5 conditions. The place of staying should be in 5 conditions. 5, yeah, this is on the top. Yeah, okay. He said, the house you can stay in, I allowed monks 5 count of abode, a dwelling place. You see, this is now the Buddha, he gave them permission, first time for the monk to stay in places, closed places. What kind of closed places? One place is dwelling place. It's mean a room, okay? Room. The second one is a house which is twisted, okay? Another house, it's long house. Another house, it's a mission, okay? Like a big house. And another house, it's a cave. So altogether, he give 5 kinds of houses or places that the monk can make like a kuti for themselves. Okay? But in this case, the monk is not building it, that people can give to the monk. They will build to the monk. And then the monk allowed to accept it. So what they are doing, the monk, they are going to the merchant. They are going to the man, to this millionaire man, and they say, the Buddha give permission for us to stay in one of these kind of houses. So what the man is doing, he's very rich. So he's not building one house. He's building 60 houses. You see, he's building 60 houses. And then after he finishes building 60 houses, he's going and asking the Buddha to come. He invites the Buddha himself. It's the first time in this occasion, what we are reading now, it's the first time when the monk is getting permission to stay in house. And this is now the man, he builds 60 houses and he going to the Buddha and asking permission from the Buddha to come to eat lunch for him, with them. And then he said to the Buddha, I built 60 houses. I wish to give it to the Buddha with the Sangha. Okay? In the very beginning, the man is going to the Buddha and invite him for lunch. When the Buddha coming, eating the lunch, the man say, I want to gain merit. I want to do something good. I want to go to the heaven. Okay? You see what he said to the Buddha? He invite the Buddha and the monks, group of monks. And after the Buddha eating the lunch, he said to the Buddha, I want to offer you this 60 houses for you and for your Sangha. Okay. Okay, this is here is the meeting with the Buddha, and here presenting. I want to offer you this 60 houses. And then he asked the Buddha, why I'm giving you? I have the intention to gain merit. I want to do merit. I want to reach to something like to the heaven. Okay, that I will have a better life. So he asked the Buddha. Okay, he asked the Buddha, what I will gain for this giving? He asked the Buddha, what will be the result of my giving? And what the Buddha answered to him? Actually, Buddha answered to him, what we are chanting today. The chanting that we chant today, this is what we are done. Then the Lord, thanks to the great merchant, you see, in this verse, okay? And that's why this we call it Vihāradāna-gāthā. It means the blessing or the thank you for the for the giving of the house, of a place to stay. And what Buddha said to him, when you give something, place to stay, the Buddha said to him like this: these houses, it's preventing from cold. If you can see, this is you can see here. Okay, this is, the houses is preventing from cold, preventing from hot. Okay, preventing from dangerous animal. Okay, from bee. Okay, from creeping animal things. Okay, like small animals. Okay, from rain, from hot wind. All these kind of things, the Buddha said to him, the animals, the cold, the hot, and all these kind of element, they are disturbing to the people to meditate, to the monk to meditate. It's difficult for them when they are fighting with all these things. It's difficult for them to gain insight, to develop meditation and insight. They cannot stay in comfort. Okay, so he said that because of giving the place to stay, actually considered to the Buddhism, to the Buddha, place to stay is the highest giving to the Sangha. If even more than giving food, even more than giving clothing, it's the highest place to give to the Sangha, it's a place to stay. And then the Buddha said to him that if the wise person is really want to gain a good future, okay, he's thinking about his goodness, he need to build a place for the monks and to give them, and then to support them from food and drinks. So when they stay there, the Buddha said to him, they will teach him the Dharma. He will be able to listen for Dharma talks. And this information he get, this Dharma that he gets, it's healing the body and healing the mind. During the time, if he will gain all this knowledge and all this wisdom, he even can get to nirvana because of this. And he will be the winner. And the Buddha said that the place have to be in this way, that he will invite monks, even the monk that stay there, they feel comfortable and they stay there more. And even new monk will listen to this, they have the feeling to come there also. So this is the answer of the Buddha to the merchant, to the millionaire. He said, thank you very much that you give me, that you offer me the land, and this will be your quality. This is the highest giving that the person can give to the Buddha Sangha. Okay? Now, you see, it's not finished there. This is just a, because what happened is there. If you continue the story later, you'll see this continue actually the story. And what happened is that one day, when many people, they was very happy to hear this message that they can offer the monks a place to stay, they start to build houses. They start to build a place for the monks to stay. But the problem is that there is no doors. So they come to the monk, they say, oh, what about to build for you a door, to build something like protection. So the monk say, we don't allow it. We have to ask the Buddha. So the people say, please ask the Buddha. So the Buddha say, they go to the monk go to ask the Buddha. They say, what to do when we don't have doors? The snakes coming, or okay, and there is scorpions or whatever animals coming in. So then the Buddha say, first time the Buddha give permission, you can build the doors. And then the Buddha explained what kind of doors to build. And like this, the sutta continue slowly, slowly, and explaining exactly how to design your room. How people ask, but we don't have this. And say, okay, you ask the Buddha. And they will say, okay, I give permission to build a table. I build what kind of bed? Which kind of bed he allowed to do? Which material? And this is how the monk know in which suitable place he should stay. Because in the Vinaya, actually, there is explanation exactly. The Buddha explained how to build the room. If you look another place, he even explaining how to clean the toilet. Because why? The monk, first time, they don't, it's not allowed. People come, I give you this. And then the Buddha say, oh, this is not allowed. For example, to sleep with even the monk, he don't allow to stay with animals in the room. Okay? Or different kind of things like this. So why the Buddha give the instruction? Because things happened. And slowly, slowly, this is the Vinaya. This is the how the monks, they know how to deal in their life, in everything, even small, small things like building doors, how the doors will open and which material to use or not to use. They just go and ask the Buddha. The Buddha told them, okay, you should do this and this. I give permission to do this and this. And this is, will continue like this, story by story, different story. So in this chanting today, we could see how the I would say the precept, or how the discipline of the monk develop. Normally we talk about the suttas, okay, about the practice, about this, about how to the Eightfold Path, or develop to concentrations, develop. But in today, by this sutta that we were chanting, we could see a little bit explanation about the Vinaya itself, about the rules of the monk, about the discipline, how the monk should behave or should not behave, some background for this. So anyone have questions? Let's share.
John,
Yeah,
you said that Ananda was with the Buddha for 25 years.
yeah, before this it was another 20 years, different kind of monks follow him. Sometimes he was alone, or sometimes with another monks.
So he wasn't at the beginning with the Buddha.
No, he was not from the beginning with the Buddha.
Oh, okay.
He joined later, and he became, the people asked him, can you be, he was in the same age of the Buddha, but he was not in the very beginning. Yeah. And then he joined to the Buddha as assistant after 25 years. So the first 20 years, it was different other monks.
And was he a cousin?
He was his cousin, yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Welcome. Please.
Hello, Ajahn Ofer. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I have two questions, one philosophical and one little bit more practical.
Please.
The first one, you teach us that everything in nature is anicca, dukkha, and anatta.
Yeah, not me. This is the teaching of the Buddha. It's not I teach. I just repeating what the Buddha said.
Yeah, I wanted to know if these rules are right only for material things or also for spiritual things. Let's say, it's.
You mean about, you see how in the life or in the nature there is physical, which is changing, but also there is mental. Okay.
Yeah.
So the thinking, thinking is physical or mental. When you're thinking about your, I don't know, your dog, it's your mind thinking, or in your body you're thinking?
Yeah, it's mental, yeah.
Mental. So this thinking is all the time the same or changing? You're all the time thinking only about your dog, or sometimes you think about some other thing?
It's changing, yeah.
Sometimes the thinking is make you unhappy.
Yes.
So dukkha, huh? And then can you control 100% what to think about?
No.
So it means the thinking, it's mental, which is also under anicca, dukkha, anatta. So this is part of your question. You ask if also mental or only physical is
Yeah.
anicca, dukkha, anatta. So I show you by thinking, for example. I can go away with your feeling. Is your feeling all the time the same?
No.
Feeling it's mental or physical?
Feeling it's mental.
Okay. And so you say it's anicca, okay? And then also sometimes you have bad feeling. You like bad feeling?
No, I don't like it.
So it's also dukkha. And then can you control your feeling 100%?
No.
So it means that also feeling, which is part of the mental, it's also anicca, dukkha, anatta. So answer to your question, you answer by yourself that also physical, but also mental, it's anicca,
Yeah.
dukkha, anatta.
Yeah, but let's say I have an attainment of concentration or insight.
Yeah.
Let's say I attain some degree of concentration.
Yeah,
It also can change.
of course. You are not all the time in this concentration.
Yeah, so
Person cannot be all the time with the first jhana all the time. He's going to eat or he's drop down already from the jhana. He's going to sleep, he's not from the jhana. He drop out from the jhana.
so until I cut off everything completely, I'm trying to
Yeah, you
sorry.
cut off, you go on.
Yeah, let's say I'm doing very good deeds. I'm a
Yeah,
holy person, and I'm
Yeah.
going to the other world and born as a god. But then I will come back here,
of course,
no?
of course, yeah, of course.
But
Also the
as a
angels
better
also,
body, or
huh?
I will come back like from new, or
No, you are not new. You are all the time developing. Whatever you have done in the past, it's still with you. I mean, if you
Oh.
learn in the past to play guitar, in this life also it will be. That's why Clapton didn't born just know guitar. He played in the past life. So we carry with them this habit.
Oh, that was my question. Yeah, if we
Yeah.
really, it's continuing. The
No,
spiritual deeds
continue,
are
of course.
continuing.
Of course, this is a habit you carry from one life to talent. Picasso didn't born just first time painting. He was painting long time ago, and Pelé probably play a lot of before. So we gain talent, okay? Sometimes we losing also. So we changing all the time, and we carry from one life to another life.
My other question is sometimes I'm going outside the city.
Yeah.
Because I have more quiet there and I'm not next to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I like to go outside the city. Sometimes I see animals,
Yeah.
especially small, like wolves, small wolves,
Yeah. Okay.
to say. And
Yeah.
one time it's almost attacked me. So I had some kind of hood
Sick or something. Yeah.
stick, and I was thinking, wait, don't eat him because it's not good karma.
Yeah.
But all the time I go, I meet these animals,
Yeah.
and I'm losing my concentration in my practice.
Yeah. So
What should I
maybe
do?
it's not a suitable place for you to practice. The Buddha said if it's too much animals or whatever between the lions, better don't go to practice there. They will eat you. They don't know they are hungry. They like Iran very much. Yeah, they put the salt, some pepper, and maybe I don't know, maybe shish kebab. I don't know. So better don't go shish kebab to be.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome. Please, any other question? I'm very happy that we have the occasion that even in the chanting that normally it's taken from the sutta, we can pick up also things which is connect to the precept himself, Vinaya. So you can hear a little bit about the meaning of Vinaya, like a door for you to listen to this. Please, any other? Everything's so clear, so nice. So if everything clear and okay, so we do the pay respect the last time to the Buddha. Okay. Araham sama sambuddho bhagava bhutan bhagavantan hapivatim Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhamman Namasam Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sanghan Namam. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Welcome.
much.
And I think next week, Buddha Day, Sunday. I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.